Hi guys, it's Stacy from Clothes Live On, and I wanted to finally sit down and do my Poshfest 2018 review, kind of like what I thought was good, what I thought could be improved overall, and just my general thoughts. So if that interests you, then stay tuned for this video. So this was actually my second Poshfest. I went when it was in Chicago in 2017. That's actually where I live. And I'm really glad I had that starting point. I don't think I would have gone to Poshfest if it hadn't been in Chicago. And I'm really glad I did because now I plan to go every year as long as I am a reseller. I really overall enjoy the event. I liked getting to travel and network with other people who do the same thing that I do. So that's always really fun because I'm really only friends in my area with one other reseller. So it's nice to just be surrounded with resellers. So in terms of my pros, my number one pro is that it is a really high networking event. It's nice to see people that you admire on Instagram or YouTube or whatever and get to talk to them in person or meet them in person. And then you're meeting a lot of new people that you don't know before. For me, I was also a closet consultant this year, so I got to help a lot of people with how they can improve their closet and try and make more sales. And I had done that at Posh Party Live, if you didn't know, so this was actually my second time doing closet consultations, and I really love it. So that was just another aspect of the networking. I love it to the point that I was scheduled to do it for I think like an hour and a half, and then I ended up skipping my lunch or not skipping my lunch, but I brought my lunch to closet consultations, and I also helped out during open consultations during lunchtime and met with more people then, which was not a requirement of the scheduled closet consultants, but I just love doing it so much that I stayed for extra time. So yeah, just the networking is one of the biggest takeaways you're gonna have. Definitely if you feel like a class isn't applicable to you, you don't need that, then feel free to go and mingle outside of the classrooms. There's a lot of people doing that. There's like photo ops, there's the Posh Market, there's a lot of different things that you can do to network or have fun if you feel like a certain session just isn't for you. The big announcements were obviously a big pro for everyone. So they did announce that Poshmark is going to be going international. Specifically, it will be in Canada by the end of 2019.
But we're taking a small step, and by next year, we will be in our neighbor. So we just opened up an office in Vancouver. We're very excited, and we look forward to seeing how our neighbors become part of the network.
Which is really exciting. Obviously, it's going to be more customers. There's going to be more sellers as the platform grows, but you're gaining extra customers, and I do know a lot of Canadians who have said that they wish that Poshmark was there, so that is super exciting. And then at the hackathon, they revealed 2 upcoming features. You are going to be able to sort your newsfeed better to make it kind of more clear. You're going to be able to sort it by likes or comments, which you can kind of do comments now. I'm hoping the comments with this new filter will actually just be comments, not like your offers to like or sent out, but you're going to be able to filter it a lot more than you can right now. Right now you just have the full feed, you have comments and you have offers. There's going to be a lot more subsections like followers and shares and things like that, so that's exciting. And definitely the most exciting announcement at the hackathon was drafts. We are going to be able to do drafts now. That's helpful for someone like me who does this part-time. If I want to kind of list a bunch when I have time and then publish them later so that, you know, I can spread out and have my closet be looking really active, but maybe I don't have the time to sit down and actually be writing out a listing. I can just have it ready to go and I just need to publish it. Or their example was like you start to write it out and you don't realize how you want to price it. You can then save a draft and then go do your comps and then come back and finish that listing. So that's a really, really exciting change. They said that'll be in the next few months. So definitely drafts and the filtering of your newsfeed. I'm looking forward to those a lot. Next is the My Sales Report section. If you guys aren't aware, they did do Facebook Lives for all of the different Posh sessions. So I'm not going to be able to break down the My Sales Report enough for you guys. I highly recommend checking out the live video from that. And if I can find it on their Facebook, I'll link it in the description for you guys. So I actually went to this being like, I keep my own numbers, I have spreadsheets, I track my stuff myself, I don't really need their My Sales Report. But he was showing all the things you can do with pivot tables, like you can sort and see who your repeat customers are, you can see kind of which brands are selling best for you, even like what months or like what category of that brand, like specifically if it's like J. Crew dresses or J. Crew shorts or whatever. So the way he showed that you can use the My Sales Report with the pivot tables was really, really fascinating, and I definitely want to give it a try the way he was showing that it can be utilized. So that was something that I didn't expect to enjoy, but I really enjoyed that class, and I highly recommend anyone who wasn't at Poshfest go and check out that video. My other pro, I loved the social media class. They had one last year too. I think they do probably a social media every year, but it was just talking about how to utilize social media to the best of your ability. They did do some recommendations, like they want you to link all your social networks, including Snapchat. I don't really use Snapchat or Twitter, so I don't link those. I did go ahead and link my Pinterest though. So I have my stuff sharing to Pinterest also now, which I didn't before. I already had a Instagram for reselling, but I like how they were telling us to try and diversify your hashtags and specifically try and find ones that are a little less used. They were saying your ideal would be it was used between 10,000 and 100,000 times. You don't want it to be something that people aren't looking at, but you don't want it to be oversaturated where it's going to be hard to find your post. So just kind of like trying to switch things up there. I liked that tip. Also just about posting consistently on your social media. That kind of goes for anything, including Poshmark itself. If you're consistently posting, you're going to consistently get new traction in. So that makes sense, you know, consistently posting on YouTube if you have a YouTube channel, consistently posting on Instagram, just making sure you're constantly like putting out content. And then the last tip that I really took away from the social media one was turning your Instagram into a business account. I knew this was a thing you could do. I had not done it before. I did it post Poshfest and I am so glad I did. I can't believe I hadn't done it sooner. All you have to do is have a business page on Facebook, and if you don't have one, it'll just ask you to create it. So I did that for my reseller account. I just made a business Facebook page, and you can then see insights. So when you post stories, you can not only see just the number of people who have seen it, which you can see whether it's business or not, but you can see like who exited out of your story, who skipped next, who clicked on your profile from that story, who clicked like a link that you or like if you tag someone in that post, you can see if anyone clicked that tag. It's been really helpful, and you see how many people have visited your profile in the last 7 days. So turning my Instagram into a business Instagram has been a game changer, and it's something I didn't expect to be such a game changer. So I'm really glad that they told us to do that. And my last overall positive is that I thought their Posh Party location was way better than last year. Last year's was really small. They had a big runway taking up like the middle of the biggest room. So there was not a lot of tables. There wasn't a lot of space. It was really crowded, and my friends and I actually didn't end up staying that long. This year was a really big open space. There was multiple bars to go grab your drinks. It was way more spacious than last year. It was still loud from the music, but they had a nice dance floor. You could still mingle, you just had to talk a little louder, but I just felt like there was actually room for you to be standing there and mingling. You weren't all packed in like sardines. So I'm really happy that they found a better location for the Posh Party this year. I just have a few cons. Nothing is going to be perfect. Poshfest isn't perfect. I highly recommend that you go. It's an amazing event, but obviously it's not perfect. So my first con is just a simple one. It was overall their food. The ticket to go to Poshfest is $200. It's supposed to be providing you breakfast and lunch. They do that, but breakfast was only fruit and mini muffins, and I really didn't feel like for how much we spent on those tickets, that was a good enough breakfast. It's actually really cheap to cater like eggs and bacon and stuff, and I'm not sure why they didn't have a better breakfast. I'm not a coffee drinker, but I also heard that the coffee was really like watered down and not good. So breakfast was super disappointing for, I think, everyone. Lunch was better. I didn't mind lunch. They had barbecue both days. It was very Texan, so that was nice. But I do think it would have been better if it was like a different lunch on day 2 versus day 1. Day 2 had a little bit different sides and the dessert was different, but the main course was the same. They actually did have the same sides as the first day. They just had a little extra. So their food was kind of a bust for me. I know some people were saying that they ended up like leaving the event and going and getting food elsewhere. I think that was probably a worthwhile choice. But then again, for me, I feel like part of my ticket cost was that food, but just the food wasn't good. So I don't know, I'm a little torn on that. I hope that's an area that they do a little better in next year, is like whoever they choose to cater the event, I hope they just pick better food. And then my other con was I feel like some of the sessions had misinformation, which is a big problem because not everyone who goes to Poshfest is an experienced seller. I had people that I did closet consultations for. One of them had just started her closet and one of them hadn't started her closet at all, but intended to. So these people are really soaking in all of the information, and I didn't like that. I felt like some of it was really misinformed information, especially when it was coming from Poshmark employees. Specifically, the one that I didn't like that came from a Poshmark employee was someone asked the question, if you have a dress, should you categorize it as a dress? And then there's always those subcategories. Should you click like none and just have it be a general dress, or should you specify it as a mini dress? And the employee told her not to specify it because it would pop up as general then or whatever, and that's wrong. You definitely, if you are listing on Poshmark, I hope if anyone saw the session and heard that and believed that they don't listen to that. If someone is searching for a general dress or looks up general dresses, your dress will pop up whether it is subcategoried or not. But if someone then subcategories, if they are looking for specifically a mini dress or a midi dress that they want to wear to work, if you have your subcategory as none, your dress isn't going to disappear when they click a subcategory. So you should always be as specific as possible with your listings so that they are popping up when someone is looking for something specific. Don't do the none category unless it actually doesn't fit into a subcategory. If it fits into one of them, you definitely want to be doing that. One of the other things, I missed this session because I was doing closet consultations, but I heard about it from several people, was that Poshmark told everyone not to relist their items, that they should just change the cover photo, and that if you delete a bunch of listings at once, it can hurt your closet. I know that's not true. I don't think there was any like research based to Poshmark saying that. And a lot of resellers have proof that relisting is a very effective method. It looks like you have new active listings going into your closet. Even if you deleted one to relist it, it shows up in the just listed category, so you get fresh eyes on it. So definitely you should be relisting old stale listings to make them, appear new in your closet. That has resulted in sales for a lot of people. I've never heard of it hurting anyone. So I don't know, if they had research, I think they should have presented that, but it sounds like it was a statement made on assumption, even though a lot of resellers have proof that relisting is a very effective strategy. And then the other thing, misinformation that I didn't like, came from one of the individual speakers, and I think her strategy works for her. I think it doesn't work for everyone, and I think she should have made that more clear, again, because you don't know who you're speaking to. She was saying that you should never pay more than $5 for your inventory. And I know a lot of people truly believe in a very, very low cost of goods. I think that sounds all fine and good, but it's not always realistic. And for me, items I have paid up for, I have made the most profit on. A specific example is recently I bought a Lululemon coat. I paid $40 for that coat, but it's sold on eBay for $185 plus shipping, and I made over $100 in profit. So by the strategy of only paying $5, I would not have picked up that coat and I would not have made that $100 profit. So for me, I'm okay paying up for something like $40 if I'm gonna make $100 on it. I would actually rather do that than pay $5 for something and have it sell for $20, and then, you know, you're only getting $16 after the Poshmark fee. So, you know, your profit is a lot smaller there. I will still pick up something and, you know, sell it for a little less. I just didn't like that that was made to sound like if you pay too much, it's wrong, because it's definitely not wrong. You just need to research what you're buying and if it's worth paying up for. And a lot of my stuff is over $5, and it's usually worth paying over $5 for. So that was just kind of my overall thoughts on Poshfest this year. I really loved the event. I thought it was amazing. I did the Posh and Sip ahead of time, and I think that was a good pre-networking thing. That space was way too small though, but that's not on Poshmark because they didn't run that event technically. But yeah, overall, I liked their venues. Both of their venues were good. I had a really good time, and I look forward to going to next year's, and I'm assuming it's going to be East Coast. I have no proof behind this. I just think they seem to be like they're heading toward going further east, since a lot of their previous ones were on the West Coast, but we will see. I think last year they announced in like April where it was, so let's all stay tuned. And if you plan to go in 2019, let me know your closet name down below. Let me follow you. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I will talk to you later. Bye.